So, it's been a while. Sorry about that. I could give you a long list of excuses, but the truth of it is that I've just been busy. So instead of doing that, let's just get straight into the video, as I think that you've been waiting long enough. Quite a while ago now, I made this bulrush or cattail sculpture for a customer. And originally I thought the customer was wanting two exactly the same, but now they've come back and said actually they want one slightly different. So essentially it's going to be the same in terms of the leaves, but the top is going to be a head of wheat instead of a cattail. So I figured I might as well just do a quick video on this. I have done one in the past about making a head of wheat, but it was like a year ago now, when I probably only had about 2 subscribers. So there's now a lot more of you, and I figured I might as well do it again. And I've got some more ideas about easier ways to make this actual head of wheat. The head is essentially just 4 pieces of 6mm round bar. So we have 2 pairs, and you take 2 bars, weld them together, twist those 2 in opposite directions. So you have one going clockwise, one going anti-clockwise, then weld those 2 together. That's basically the head, and that can then be welded onto just like a stem bar. And then of course we're going to put some leaves on it as well. So when I've done this before, I've got all my pieces of steel cut to length, you know, they're all perfect and as short as I need them to be, and then I have the trouble of holding them in a pair of tongs and putting them in the fire to actually weld the ends. So instead of doing that, my idea this time is just to leave some nice long handable lengths so I can just hold them when I'm welding the ends and getting the welds set. Then obviously we can twist them and cut them off and scarf weld them, weld those pairs together and then scarf weld them onto a stem bar. But I thought that hopefully this is going to make this first step a little bit easier, rather than cutting them all to length and then holding them in a pair of tongs. So let's get the fire lit, and then it's on to the first forge weld. Now we've got the end welded, I can make a mark sort of maybe 5 inches back from the point, and we can do another weld back here, and then we can twist it. I've got this first pair welded, and I've done an anti-clockwise twist on these 2. So now I've just got to do it all again. I won't show you it, as it's basically exactly the same. However, at the end we do a clockwise twist instead of anti-clockwise. I managed to get that done nice and quickly, and I think just to help this weld be in the right place, I'm going to use some wire so we can wrap it up, because I don't want them to accidentally get welded like that, you know, so they're offset, because then the twists aren't going to match up. So I want them, you know, I want to get this weld in the right place, and so to help that I'm just going to wrap it up in a bit of wire. That should help us keep them together, so I can now set the top weld, and then I'll probably take the wire off, and then we can set the bottom weld and cut it off from these handable lengths. Now that we've got that weld set, I can come onto the horn and just add a bit of sort of elegance and taper to that very top of the head of wheat, rather than it just being like this steep taper that we have at the moment. The top is completely done, so we can leave that and move on. The middle section, we're nearly done on it. There's a little bit more that I want to do, but we'll probably do that at a later stage, as all that I do is flatten it. Or actually, might be better to do that now, because, yes, we'll do that now, because when we flatten it, it's going to increase in length. So if we make a weld at the bottom, we run the possibility of this coming apart sideways. So I think I'm going to flatten that and then come back and weld it at the bottom. Now that we have this piece cut off, I'm going to forge a scarf on a separate bar, and then we can do the classic scarf weld, joining these two pieces of material together. You'll notice that the angle of the chisel means that we've already got a scarf on the end of this this piece here. So in just really simple terms, a scarf is effectively just a bevel on the end of the bar, so that you can draw the end of the material down and really fade it in, rather than it being at a 90-degree angle to the other section of bar, where it doesn't really weld very well like that. You get seams which eventually form cracks, and then is obviously a fault in the weld. So by creating that little bevel, it just means that we can run the seams in and get a much stronger weld. I will have to reforge this one a little bit, just to bring the sides in so that they're a bit better suited to matching the diameter or the width of this. It's 8mm round bar, so I just want to bring it in a little bit more so that they match when we're welding them, and then we can obviously neaten the transition up a bit more afterwards. Keep everything clean, of course, ready for the weld. It's a bit of a shaky weld, that one. The tongue's got stuck, but you can see we've got it stuck on, so now I can really get the weld set, get it back in the fire, heat it up, and get it really properly, securely on there. that's the wheat head finished. I'm really happy with how this one's turned out. The sort of crucial part of these I find is the transition areas, so where it comes down into the stem and out of the top. And it's very easy to get those wrong, you know, not to have enough material there to overwork it, and then your stems are really thin and flimsy. So I'm really happy with how this one's turned out. We can now move on to the two leaves, grass-like leaves either side, and I sort of went into more detail on this in the last video about making that cattail or bulrush sculpture. So today I'm just going to quickly go through it. So we're going to flip this bar around, put this end in the fire, begin to draw down a taper on the end. Then we can come back and flatten that taper, so it's a bit more of that leaf profile, that grass profile. Then we can come in the step of the anvil and cup it with the cross peen, just adding a little bit of sort of 3D texture or a bit more shape to the leaf. Then, because we are creating this on the other end of this bar, we can come in, cut it in the middle, or you can see I'm sort of trying to cut it about 2/3 of the way down, so that then this bit of grass that we've now forged on the end is going to be shorter than the stem itself. So we can make a cut there. You call it a nick and fold weld. So we nick it, cut it, but only about halfway through, fold it over and forge weld that together, so that then we have the first leaf going off in the correct direction rather than off the end of the bar. There is, of course, another leaf that I want to do, as I want two, so I have to make that one separately, and then we can do a wire wrap and forge weld that on afterwards. I've forged out this second leaf, cut it to length, and now it's all strapped together with some wire so we can get it in the fire, heat it up, and set this weld. So there's the finished wheat sculpture. The head itself is a little bit different to how I've made them before, as it's shorter. So I've tried to get it to match the proportions of the other sculpture that I've made, the cattail, as that's, both of these are for the same customer, so I want them to match. And so that's made me make the head smaller than I would usually make them. However, looking at it, I think the proportions of it are actually better. I prefer the look of this slightly shorter head. So sorry it was such a long time in between this video and the last video. I think the last one was making the nails, and so I made that video in isolation, which was the first problem, as I was then in isolation, and when I came out I was catching up on all the work that I missed out on when I was in isolation because of COVID. And then I unconsiderately went on holiday, and so I was on holiday, and then when I got back from holiday I was then catching up on a load more work for the past 2 weeks, and then now finally I'm sort of in a bit of a better position, and so I've managed to get the time to film this video. But as I said, I do like making the videos, as obviously I can explore new techniques, and when I do make the videos I try to use traditional blacksmithing techniques, which generally in the day-to-day stuff I don't really do, as a lot of these more traditional techniques take a lot longer to perform compared to modern methods. And so looking at it from a business perspective, they're a lot less profitable. And so generally when I'm making things, the customers also, they want generally the price to be a lot lower, and so you're like, right, well then we'll have to do it via welding rather than doing it the traditional way. So when I'm making the videos, I like to do things the traditional way, so wire wrapping and nick and folding and actually forge welding, scarf welding in the fire, as it really sort of stretches my capabilities as a blacksmith, and obviously I want to be better at doing these things, and so doing the videos gives me the drive myself to make myself a better blacksmith. Anyway, I think that's it for today, so thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've definitely enjoyed making it, and I'm going to enjoy making the next one, and hopefully we're going to be on a much more consistent schedule over the next few weeks, and so I'll try and get them out every Sunday. That's my aim. I know I said this last time and then I forgot about it. I'm very sorry. I do apologize. But anyway, yes, so that is my plan going forward. Hopefully every Sunday there'll be a new video out for all of you. Thank you for watching once again, and I'll see you on the next one.